Hello, happy Saturday. The sun's come out. It was raining when I first got up. But it's sunny now, so we have to make the most of it, don't we? The washing has actually dried and got put away. Yeah, the Amazon man has called. We're practically on each other's Christmas card list now, you know. Because he's coming again tomorrow. I ordered printer ink for my printer. And when it came, it wasn't the exact, it was a generic. My printer, no, it will have none of it. These people who say, oh, you can buy a brand that's almost the same as, not my printer. It's programmed that it will only accept the real McCoy, or not at all. So it's not quite the colour I want, but it is actually the colour that you're looking at. I'm looking at it too now. It's actually the right colour. It's still not, but I've got to leave it alone. Otherwise I won't have a hair on my head. Over bleached. It's not the word for it. Yeah. Anyway, what shall we do first? We'll do what am I wearing. I'm back to something colourful. I shall move my... Yeah, I'm wearing something colourful, but it's cold, so I've got to put a sweater with it underneath it. Would that I would be able to wear something little and floaty, and I've got my purple velvet trousers on. And lots of beads, because it wouldn't be me, would it, if I wasn't wearing lots and lots of beads. What is on Anne Boleyn today? Well, you saw me wear a yellow sweater the other day, and I told you I'd put long sleeves in it. This is how it is supposed to look like on the pattern. Yeah, it's, I'm sure it's called something like the wedding sweater or something like that. It's definitely on Etsy, it's still on Etsy. I've seen it, it's white on the pattern. So this one is done in an orange cotton. It will be going up for sale, should you be interested. I can't tell you the size, I would imagine probably about a 38-40, something like that. And it's made in cotton, so that's that one. Right, I need to find something else to crochet tonight on my, so too much of everything else here, on my life tonight. I did start doing the knitting, as I said I was going to do, and it's not turning out quite as I planned. It's a very ancient pattern, I think I told you. But because the wool I'm using as a contrast is got greens and pinks and everything, it's looking a bit strange. It's looking like I've done the first 4 pattern repeats in green and then I've suddenly changed to pink. So I don't know quite how it's going to work out when it's done. Don't know what that one is. That one is James C. Brett, I think it's James C. Brett cotton on. 50% cotton, I think, 50% man-made. And this one, I can't remember what this one was. It was a cake. I got it. I'll tell you how long ago I got it. It was when we all went and met up and went to Countess Blaze, who sadly, she's no longer there anymore. And we all met up in Manchester. There's quite a few of us met up. And we went in Countess Blaze for a Saturday morning knitting. We paid, I think it was £2 or £3, I think, but we got a coffee and we got biscuits and stuff like that. And while I was there, I'd gone into, what's it called now? Oh, it's a big store in Manchester anyway, and they've got a store in, it'll come to me in a moment, they've got a store in Wales, so I got that from there. I did buy some wool from Countess Blaze. Cost me an arm and a leg. I did use some of it, and my friend Kelly actually knitted me a hat with some of it. I think I've still got 2 skeins left in the shed. It's too pretty to use for socks, much too pretty. Anyway, I'm just trying to think what this place is called. It sells fabric and everything. I'm sure you're all shouting it through the screen at me, telling me what it's called. It'll come to me. It's very, very pretty, this wool, but I can't remember what the heck it was called. Because it was in the she shed, my crafting shed, Somebody gave me a nicer name than that. I can't think what it was now. Do you know my brain's gone dead? Absolutely dead. I think it was like my crafting space or something like that. And it had all fallen off. You know how cakes can just explode. Well, it did. So I redid it. So I don't know whether to carry on with it. Originally, we used to do it when I was in the shop with a base colour, and we used to use like a glitter yarn. And I didn't really have any glitter yarn. I had all glitter yarn in the shed, my crafting space. But it was a big amount, and I didn't want to just take one ball out of this big amount in case I ever wanted to go glitzy and make myself something 100% glamorous. Yeah. Anyway, when my hair was a mess, I was actually toying with the idea of putting, I can't remember who sent those. That one came from Esin, because she's actually got a little label on it saying handmade by Esin. So there you are, Esin. I finally did use one of your flowers. So I did think I shall go, you know, but then I thought, no, it's a bit too high. Maybe smaller flowers would be more in keeping. I look as though I'm going to go on one of those, you know, the Queen of the May. It's a bit too high, isn't it? A bit too, what do you think? A bit too much, isn't it? A bit too high. Yeah. I had a very strange dream last night. You know I don't like mice. Well, I don't mind white mice if they're in a cage. But apparently I'd gone to this restaurant and I was chasing a mouse all around this restaurant. Right, where do dreams come from? Where do this? Cheers. Anyway, as I had time on my hands and not doing anything in particular yesterday, I thought I'll Google to see whether it's a known factor, whether colours affect you, brain, mentally, like I said to you, how I felt, yeah. I've got it all written on paper. And apparently it says here, choosing a hair colour impacts on your overall mood and your well-being. Choosing a hair colour that makes you feel confident assists your mood and your outlook for the day. The right colour makes you feel positive and energised. So this is where it went wrong. I had the wrong colour. And I wasn't feeling positive, and I wasn't feeling energised, and I was feeling ugh. So maybe it doesn't work for everybody. Maybe it's just the way I'm wired. Because I'm definitely wired differently to everybody else, yeah. So while I was there, I thought, well, we've done the hair colour bit, I'll do the colour, you know, wearing colours, yeah, whatever. It says, bright colours reflect more light. Well, pretty obvious that really, isn't it? When we see ourselves in bright colours, it's like caffeine for the eyes. A burst of vibrancy that gives us a lift. Bright colours are associated with positive emotions, which are naturally energising. Now, I'm not saying it works for everybody, but that definitely works for me. Definitely. Pablo Picasso once said, colours, like features, follow the changes of the emotions. And it said, colours have a powerful psychological effect on our moods and emotions. Well, it does with me. Definitely does with me. Wearing colourful clothes boosts your mood. You feel optimistic and cheerful. Well, you know it definitely makes me feel much better. To some, moi, me, beige is bland, boring, and what does it say there? I don't know what that says. I can't read my own writing. Yeah. To others, it's comforting, a bit like vanilla ice cream. So if you like vanilla ice cream, you like beige, yeah. Unhappy colours are dark, muted, neutral, grey, brown, beige. They're unhappy colours, apparently. And yet my friend, she dresses head to toe in black. She always does and always will, I think, yeah. But she's not an unhappy person, so I think it must be a personal thing. You know, if you feel happy wearing a neutral colour, then that is your happy colour, isn't it? Yeah. But I just wanted to know whether it was just me that was weird. You know, that liked wearing bright colours, that liked my hair being blonde, that liked bright lipstick, that liked whatever, necklaces, everything. I just wondered if it was just me, whether I was wired up a bit differently than everybody else. But apparently I'm not on my own, which is nice to know, although I do like being individual. So, I mean, it must not be the same for everybody. Otherwise, we'd all be dressed like rainbows walking down the street. We'd all be shrieking colour, wouldn't we? There she goes wearing red, there she goes wearing green. So I don't know, does your hair colour affect you? You know, does it make you feel miserable? And if it's not your hair colour, if you've had a bad haircut, we've all had those, haven't we? You go to the hairdressers with an idea in your head, and the hairdresser translates it into something completely different that you hate, yeah? Oh, when I was a kid, the number of times I came out of the hairdresser and cried my eyes out. Because they would crop my hair short. And as I said before, my hair is too thin and flimsy. And it just, they can do it because they're professional, aren't they? They can blow dry it and get some lift, bounce, whatever in it. Because that's what they're trained to do. But when I go home, obviously I'm amateur, can't wield a hairdryer to save my skin. Never been able to blow dry hair, never been able to do it. I used to use the old Carmen rollers, you know what I mean, the plug-in ones. Loads and loads of hairspray and the curlers in every morning to make it look anything like or reasonable. Because obviously being public facing, I had to look quite smart. I've always been public facing with every job I've done. I was in the bank, then I was in the shop, and then I was in the job centre. So I was always been public facing. And I think that's what makes me who I am, really. It's persona, it's facade sometimes. I hear people saying, oh, I couldn't do that, or I couldn't wear that, or I'm too shy to go into a room on my own, I couldn't do it, I'm too much of an introvert. I'm not by nature super confident. You may think that's odd, but I'm not. I can talk to you because you're all my friends, it's different. I couldn't do public speaking. I find it very difficult to go into a place I've never been before and meet a whole lot of people I've never met before. I find that extremely difficult. And even when I was younger, I was always the one in the corner at a party or in the kitchen. You'll always find me in the kitchen at a party, yeah. I have to put on, I think it comes really from being with the public. You've got to put a face on. You've got to be someone you're not. It's almost like acting in a play, isn't it? You've got to project that you're super confident. Especially in the job centre. If I was too hesitant or whatever, the clients, the customers, whatever you want to call them, would walk all over me because they'd think they had the upper hand. I always had to be the one in command, if that sounds big-headed or wrong. But in order to get, not all people, in order to get some of my customers, clients, whatever you want to call them, to do anything at all in order to earn their job seekers allowance, you had to be pretty forceful. You had to come across as you were in control and you were controlling their money. And they had to do what you were saying, otherwise they wouldn't get any money. And if you were too hesitant, like, well, I don't know, perhaps this job's not for you, and they would walk all over you. Walk all over you. They got you in the palm of the hand. They could never perceive you as being the weaker one of the two. Yeah. And I think this is where people think I'm absolutely super confident. I'll talk to anybody, which I will. Yeah. But I'm not always, no. Little things drag me down. Got hair. Like my hair colour the other day. It absolutely. I was down in the pits. Down Not even my inner ooh could bring me up again. The facade thing, the face thing didn't work on that occasion. Because I was just deeply unhappy about the whole situation, yeah. Certain things in my life make me deeply unhappy. You may not think it because I don't show it. I try not to be too personal on here, tell you things that are going on that are making me unhappy. I try to be, because I think, oh gosh, you know, the person who's watching me has all kinds of problems in their life, you know. They don't want to come on and see you, Janet, moaning and groaning all day long. It was bad enough about the hair, wasn't it? For goodness sake, let's draw a line under that. But I just wanted to know whether it was just me that was affected by colour. You know, does it affect you? Or does it not bother you? Do you still feel super confident, super whatever, no matter what you put over your head in the morning? You can put whatever colour t-shirt you feel like it, and you feel fine, yeah? And if that's true, I envy you, because it must be nice to be confident enough to have the right kind of personality to shine no matter what you're wearing. I think mine is kind of like, I don't know what you would call it, like, almost like I'm dressing up. I can't be me unless I've got the right props, you know what I'm saying. Like in a play. Have you ever been to a play and they don't dress up in the right kind of clothes? You know these so-called modern plays where they're doing something like King Lear or Jane Austen or something, and they're wearing jeans and a t-shirt. And they're like, it's modern, we're bringing it up to modern day. And I'm like, I can't see it, I can't. I want King Lear or Shakespeare to be wearing the costumes. Yeah. You know, I want them to look the part. Even if they have to wear a wig and strut about wearing tights, you know. I want them to look the part. I can't. Even Romeo and Juliet. I mean, yes, I did the West Side Story. That was Romeo and Juliet really in modern day, wasn't it? But I couldn't do the proper Romeo and Juliet where, you know, they're wearing jeans and a t-shirt. I want Juliet to be wearing something beautifully flowing, in velvet preferably, with jewels on. And her hair leading over the balcony, you know. I want her to be like that, yeah. I'm just odd, I've decided. But it's kind of how you see life, isn't it? It's how you see things. I see things in colour. I see things in bright colour. I love bright colours. There's nothing I like more than to see somebody walking down the seafront or in the town wearing something colourful. You know, hyacinth bouquet, a floral dress, you know, something like that. I don't mind if the hair's pink, purple, green, you know. I do draw the line at badly kept hair. You know, when it's bright pink with black roots. That doesn't do it for me. I'm like, please dye your hair again. Please have pink roots. Please have green roots. Please have blue roots. But that's me. It's my generation. It's an older thing, you know. That's what happened with this, because I was trying to get rid of dark roots, and what happened? I swear that the wrong dye was in the wrong packet, because it was what I usually buy. And it was a disaster. Never mind, we're not talking about hair. We're talking about having a drink. The dogs are both flaked out on my bed, which is next door here. Both fast asleep. They let me have a lie-in this morning, which I thought was unusual, until I got up and found out that little Miss Trixie, the French bulldog, had decided that she would poop in the conservatory. Thank you. I'd let her out before we went to bed. Now normally, you see, she starts pawing at me and waking me up about silly o'clock, you know. So I thought it was a little strange that she hadn't woken me up until I'd woken up. And even then she was in no hurry, you know, to get out of bed. I thought, that's odd. Till I got up and thought, what's that smell? Oh dear. So obviously she did get up at silly o'clock. And because Grandma was sleeping, she thought, no, I'll just leave Grandma asleep, I'll just go elsewhere. Thanks a lot for that trick smell. Never mind. One of life's little trials, isn't it? They're sent to try you. Anyway, the sun's just gone in again. I'm going to upload this. My computer is still not behaving itself. I'm not having a good time with it electronically, am I? The printer won't work because it doesn't like this generic ink that cost me £14 yesterday. So I've just had to pay £16 for another black ink. I'd be cheaper off getting, if I had the money, I'd get one of those printers like Sheila has where you just top it up with ink, you know, out of little bottles. And you don't buy these cartridges. Because this is where you go wrong with a printer. The printers are comparatively cheap, but buying the inks to go in them, because this printer of mine recognises, it thinks, that's not the right ink. She hasn't paid a fortune for that ink. She hasn't bought it from us. She's bought it from somewhere else, thinking she's going to save a few pennies. So, we're not going to work. Yeah, I put it in and it kept saying, printer doesn't recognise the ink. Printer doesn't recognise it. I thought, here we go again. I had another printer before this that was exactly the same. It would not recognise the cheaper inks that you can buy. You know, the refills and whatever. Some people's printers will take anything, not mine. I always get the snob printers, you know, the ones, get me the real printer ink or I won't work. I get those kind of printers, yeah. Never mind. So I'm going to go and try and upload this. As I say, the plans for showing you this pattern and telling you the pattern are not going to work because my flipping printer's not working. So at the moment I cannot say, oh, I will tell you what the pattern is. Maybe next time if I can get this flipping printer to work. So I'm going to go now. I haven't decided whether I need any lunch or not. I don't think I do, because I had bacon and eggs for my breakfast, which is rather a big breakfast for me. And maybe I'll let the girls out for a run round the garden, play silly beggars and run a bit of energy off. Because they're not, I can't take them a walk. I cannot. Rosie pulls. I cannot take her for a walk. She'd have me over on the floor. I can't walk anyway, as you know. But I would literally, the speed she goes at, I would literally be flying down the seafront on the scooter, breaking the speed barrier, yeah? So, sadly, she won't be going for a walk until they come back tomorrow. So I think I'll let her run round the garden for a bit and run some energy off and play silly beggars with Trixie. See what I will do. So I hope you're having a nice time, and I'll see you on the live later on tonight. I will be wearing the same outfit because I'm not going to get changed again. And I shall speak to you very soon. Thanks for watching. Thumbs up, subscribe, leave me a comment. You know I love a comment. Well, except the one I got that was rude, but apart from that, I do love a comment. Oh. So like, subscribe, thumbs up, yeah. Tell all your friends that there's this nutty woman, oh I've got hiccups now, nutty woman that comes on, rattling and prattling about absolutely nothing, but she can fill a half an hour with waffle. Bye for now.